Hey folks, welcome back to TechDragonHub. Today we are taking a closer look at distro that often flies under the radar and honestly didn't get the attention it's deserved and the spotlight that deserved. We are taking a look at Fedora 42, the KDE Plasma edition, and finally, after many years of debates and people asking for it, the KDE Plasma Edition got the same marketing as the GNOME version. And if we go on their site and click on or hover over Get Fedora, we now see that KDE Plasma is over here. In the past, it was under the spins, and they did better job now with easily highlighting the spins. It was somewhere down in the bottom of the page in the past, so you need to kind of dig deep into the website if you want to find the KDE Plasma Edition, and I think that diverted more people. So KDE Plasma, it's one of the most beautiful desktop environments out there, and why I think and put emphasis on this that more and more distribution needs to ship with KDE as default or at least have KDE edition is if we want to get more and more new users into the Linux desktop environment, and if we want more and more users to switch from using Windows to Linux, then KDE will feel like Windows, right? And they will have easier time adjusting because if you switch to KDE, the chances are that you will adjust much quicker using the KDE desktop environment than going to something like GNOME, right? And we have like nice, beautiful design over here for the KDE edition that really didn't get the attention that it needs. And we see over here relationship between Red Hat and Fedora. And I don't think many people know this, but Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Fedora develops the Fedora projects and sponsors, but we follow only with new version approximately every 6 months. Modern Linux using many of the latest technology, it's free. So basically what they're trying to say over here is not to go over the whole, if you want to learn more, go over the whole text, but what they want to say over here is Fedora is kind of the playground for Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So if you want to take a look how Red Hat will look in a year from now, take a look at Fedora today. Because most of the, not all of them of course, but most of the features that we see today at Fedora will go over to Red Hat. And more interesting facts about Fedora and why I mentioned it's made those enormous contribution to the overall Linux and Linux desktop environment is they were the first one that adopted Wayland as their default display server. They were the one that introduced PipeWire to modernize Linux audio and video. They were the first one that defaulted to Btrfs file system. So many firsts throughout the years, and chances are if Fedora does something, other distribution will follow. Okay, let's now focus a bit on the distribution. Sorry about the rambling on, but I really want this distribution to get the attention it deserves. Finally, after so many years, they're moving towards the right direction. They are having the same marketing and advertisement as the GNOME edition. And one of the other things they changed. So Fedora is a really big advocate for free and open source, and they don't ship any software that is not free or open source software, which in the past it was diverting, especially new users, away, because that means you will not get any media codecs, that means you don't get the NVIDIA driver, and for new users that just switch from Windows and wanted to try Linux, well, it was kind of hard to do that. Now they have just this one button over here, enable third-party repositories, and that it is. And they have great explanation over here. Fedora strongly believes and promotes free and open source software. However, proprietary software can be made available if desired. Click this button to make possible to install number of proprietary games, application, graphic drivers using the Discover application. So they have this button over here in the welcome center, and let's take a look. They have the same setting as Discover. We'll take a look at that later. I'm just interested to see out of the box the resource usage before I do anything else, because I don't want to trigger anything installing in the background, so it will not show clear picture. So it's 2.6 gigabytes, a bit on the heavy side. This is running in live session currently in a virtual machine. Maybe it's something that have to do with that, but I don't think this even installed that will go below 2.4 gigabytes. So it's a bit on the heavy side, but it's not the KDE desktop environment, right? So Fedora comes with many pre-installed applications, so new users, when they come over here, we can take a look. They have like Office installed. If we go, we have LibreOffice, we have couple of games installed, some basic simple image viewers and PDF readers over here. We have, of course, Firefox, the KDE software stack over here. We have Kmail, we have, of course, the KDE players. So there is quite a couple of things going on and are pre-installed over here, which most likely is one of the causes for those high RAM usages we see. If you remember from iOS video when we were taking a look at Kubuntu, if you didn't check that video out, I highly recommend you do so. With the KDE minimum installation, it was just 1.4 gigabytes of usage, which was quite excellent. Let's take a look at Discover for a moment, and I just want to showcase that you can enable the RPM fusion over there. Like I said in the past, was one of the things that people struggled with and was really diverting them from this beautiful distribution. Many people, when you talk cutting edge or bleeding edge, will think of Arch, but like I said, Fedora really was quietly leading the revolution in development with Wayland, with PipeWire, with Btrfs. So if you want a really stable cutting edge, try out Fedora. Simple as that. And in the settings over here, you can enable as well like RPM Fusion non-free, so you can install the media codecs, NVIDIA drivers, and all this good stuff. You still need to install them, but at least it's enabled, and when you type the command, it's there. Let me know down in the comments if you want to do like full installation and setup of Fedora. We can do that. And one of the hot topics, and I'm always on edge and reluctant to talk about this, but I think Flatpak and snaps is really something that's allowed the Linux desktop environments to grow, especially for developers. They don't need now to worry about hundreds of Linux distributions. They either develop for Flatpaks or Snap or both, and that's it. And we see more and more developers doing this. For example, OBS Studio is doing this, and I think many more will follow, where they will focus heavily on just developing for Flatpak or Snap, and that's it. And I think it's a good thing. This way, more and more developers will start shipping application from Windows to Linux, and that will bring more and more people using the Linux desktop environments. And I think the unfair hit they got was from the Arch fanboys, and I had like a couple of heavily heated discussions with those, because they had they still have, right, the AUR, like Arch user repository, where you can download this application and software, basically everything you can imagine for Linux is there. Flip side of that, yes, that's true, but someone packaged that you don't know over the internet. You don't know if they done any testing. You don't know if they have any uh, malicious intention, and what they change in building those applications. And I know Arch distribution like Manjaro even discourage using the AUR, and that's heated discussion, but I totally agree. Right? I don't trust someone over the internet that built the package. And now I think that was one of the bragging rights of the people using Arch. And now when that bragging rights is going away with Flatpak and Snap, then they have this heated discussion that this is bad, this is terrible, no one should use them. Like, I think it's quite the opposite. Everyone should use them, so everyone encourage the developers and prove to the developers this is the only two things they need to worry about when developing their application, and we hopefully grow the whole Linux environment, like desktop environment, and we have more and more users, and we will get more and more application, like professional application for work on here. And I don't want to get into that discussion as well, but let's leave it for another time. We had Flatpak enabled over here. It's a tick of a button, like great job, Fedora on that one. We have the home where we have like the most popular application. We have VLC over here. We have Kitra, we have like all those really Kden Alive, really popular application, but my test is always Opera, like the browser. Disclosure, I don't have any sponsorship or anything. I just love using Opera. It's one of the first browser I stumbled upon, went back even before they split with Vivaldi. So it's kind of close to my heart. I still use it today. So we can see install from FlatHub, that is proprietary. So as easy as that, like click of a button to enable FlatHub and Flatpak. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know down in the comments below what's your take on Flatpaks and snaps and everything we discussed below. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.